Let's just dive right into what is the new Bing Microsoft, or the ChatGPT powered Bing Microsoft. We're here on Microsoft's search portal inside of the new Edge browser. It's important to understand, if you look here in the center, there's a link to Bing.com. If you open up Microsoft Bing, as you can see here in the left-hand corner here in the top, you can see there's a search bar. How does this new Bing chat work? I'm going to do a search. Here you see the Bing AI, or the ChatGPT powered Bing result, versus here is the normal search result. If you click the chat button or the link to chat, it then opens up the chat interface. This is something more similar that we're used to over at ChatGPT. It is simply a chat interface where we give ChatGPT input, we ask a question, or we give it a request to either give us information or do a task for us. Now, this new Microsoft powered ChatGPT Bing interface only exists if you log into Bing and use the Edge browser. So if you're not logged in and you're not using the Edge browser, this is Microsoft Bing or Bing.com using Google Chrome. You can see here that there is a button that says chat, or a link that says chat up here. If you were to click that, it's going to give you more information and let you know that chat mode is only available when you have access to the new Bing. And if you want to join the new Bing, you can join the wait list. And that means you have to have an account, or you have to associate an email address, some type of contact information, an email address, so you can then associate your Bing account or your Microsoft Bing account, your new chat account, to the wait list, and then that couples your account and using the new Microsoft Edge browser. Of course, the Microsoft Edge browser works on Windows by default, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. I'm actually using it on a Mac right now. And this, again, is what the chat interface looks like. Now I want to dive into Microsoft Bing Chat versus ChatGPT, specifically as a content creator. Of course, here at 30 Minute Marketing, I focus in on creating content as an affiliate marketer, and I focus in on using ChatGPT to help me create that content. So here inside of Bing, I want to use Bing Chat, or Microsoft Bing Chat, ChatGPT enabled or powered chat inside of Bing to get a result sort of the same way I would over at ChatGPT. So I'll go ahead and ask it the question, write me an outline for a report on raising chickens in the suburbs. Here you can see that it's searching for raising chickens in the suburbs, and then it's going to generate the answers. Here's a possible outline for raising chickens in the suburbs. It's going to give me an introduction. It's going to give me a benefit of raising chickens in the suburbs, challenges of raising chickens, recommendations, and a conclusion. Then it's going to continue and be polite and say, I hope this helps. Do you have any questions or feedback? Look at this information here where it says learn more. Then you can see the number 1, Grubbly Farms, the number 2, chickenwhispermagazine.com. Then you can see that there are 3 more. What this is doing, and this is the power that you're getting inside of Microsoft Bing ChatGPT enabled or AI assisted chat, is it's actually connected to the internet, and it's reaching out and giving you real-time references to the outline that it created for you. So let's take that same information over to ChatGPT and take a look at what it gives us. Of course, it is the same OpenAI engine that has powered the information or the output that we got over at Microsoft Bing, the new chat. But you can see here, the limitation is it is simply an outline. It is simply using the language generator or the capability of it to generate words or output based upon your input in a natural way, meaning that it takes what you ask and it says, okay, based upon all the knowledge that I've been trained on for raising chickens in the suburbs, here is what I would write a report on. Here is an outline. As a content creator, having access inside of Microsoft Bing, inside of the chat, to these references, especially if I'm a blogger or creating content on YouTube, or really any content creation that I do in any format, even social media, this is going to be extremely powerful. Not going to be, this is extremely powerful. Now, it has the same limitations as far as you have to double check and make sure that the output that it's giving is correct. So you're going to have to read it. You're going to have to edit it. You can't just copy and paste it and use it as your own research, or you can't pretend that you wrote this if you didn't write it, because you didn't write it, the AI wrote it. Now, check this out though. Inside of Microsoft Bing, inside of the chat, it's going to say, do you have any other questions, or how else can I help you? And it's going to give you hints. Yes, you can write me an introduction paragraph. No, thank you. This is very helpful. Make me amazed. So let's go ahead and click Make Me Amazed, because again, this is Microsoft trying to make this tool as useful as possible for anyone that creates an account and downloads the Microsoft Edge browser and then logs into Microsoft Bing. So I will try to make you amazed. Here are some amazing facts that you might not know. And it's going to give me some facts. But these facts, other than the last one, have nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. That really doesn't apply to me. And the whole function or the idea of using ChatGPT that I really enjoy, and the reason that I broke into using AI a lot and really talking about it here on the channel, is the cleanness of the interface. It's like when Google first came onto the scene as a search engine. Back in those days, Yahoo was really big, and Yahoo had a big messy screen with lots of news, and they were doing lots of things. And then Google simplified it by simply giving me a search bar. Now, ChatGPT, again, is not connected to the internet, but guess what? There's no button here to distract me that says amaze me. I would simply continue on working through my outline, and then I would say, write the introduction, and then ChatGPT would simply carry on writing me the introduction. Again, I'm not going to get the references that I'm going to get when I go over to Bing. But see, again, at this point, Bing is leading me down a path or distracting me, because now I want to go back and write the introduction. Let's go ahead and say write the introduction and see what it gives us. Now in ChatGPT, I'm used to setting the context, and again, there's no distraction, so I just understand and know that I need to set a context, and that context is write me an outline for a report, and then I'm going to feed it different types of information, 5th grade reading level, set the tone, things like that. Here you can see, I assume you're referring to the introduction for the report on raising chickens in the suburbs. Here's a possible introduction paragraph. And then it's given me this paragraph. So go ahead and read that. You can pause it and read it. Then go over and, of course, read this introduction. And again, this introduction doesn't have any references. But as you can see, the references have stopped from my initial question. And now the chat part of, or the ChatGPT part, the AI is just producing content based upon the questions I'm asking it. Now, if you were to go back to a new tab, again inside of Microsoft Search, if you were to just search the web for raising chickens in the suburbs, you can see here that it says maybe illegal, and then it's going to give me the search here inside of Bing, and I'm going to get all the references. Now, inside of the Microsoft Edge browser, you can see as soon as I try to leave the screen, it's going to take me into the new Bing, your AI-powered co-pilot for the web, which is what they're calling it. And it's going to go through the search again. As you can see, it bounces back and forth there as I move through. And what I was going to show you was inside of Microsoft Edge under Labs, they actually have the ability to toggle the chat response on or off, or make it more frequent, or you can turn it completely off, auto by default, which is what you saw here. So if we say make it more frequent, then you can see here raising chickens in the suburbs. Or if we were to go back to Microsoft Default or Microsoft Bing and ask it a new question, let's go ahead and say, how do I care for a lizard in a cold place? And it's going to talk about creating the proper habitat. Now you can see here, it's searching for a lizard in a cold place. And you can see I can say stop responding. But again, I have toggled this lab button to more frequent. So it looks like to me that didn't really do anything. It's basically the same thing, because we saw that initially when we did our first chat here inside of the new Google Bing. Of course, you can always come back up here and you can hit the chat and it's going to give you the information. And again, the power here is it's connected to the internet. So it knows about the references. It is actually looking and pulling this information from these references and giving you those references to guide you. Again, if I was to go over to the labs and toggle this to off, you can see that it actually disappears. So it doesn't show up here in the search engine. But if I click the chat button, I still have it available. Then you can see when you go back to the chat, it's going to actually search for the question again. And then there's going to be a place here once it stops or you could say stop responding, just like you can in ChatGPT. You're going to be able to ask it to further or ask anything else. Of course, again, it's going to give you, once it stops, it's going to give you some additional information. I have a bearded dragon, I have an iguana, I have a leopard gecko. But again, my focus here, my focus and my thought process, the reason that I loved ChatGPT when I first saw it was because as a content generator, it is helping me generate content versus this, which is initially when you're doing searches, you're thinking I'm looking up information and then it gives you the information and it's that great resource that you're looking for, just like over at Google. Now, again, comparing Microsoft Bing searches to Google searches, that's something that you can do and you can look and you can compare. For me, I've never used Bing.com to do research. I've defaulted to Google for a long time because it is the king of searches and it typically gives me the answer I'm looking for. But now with Microsoft Bing, and in my opinion, the reason they came up with this is because of the competition. They're trying to beat out Google as the ultimate search engine or the place where people go. But again, you have to get on a wait list. Then once you're on a wait list and you have an account, you'll have to then download the Microsoft Edge browser and use that no matter what device you're on and log into your account. So I hope this comparison, specifically as a content creator, helps you get a first look at Bing versus ChatGPT, meaning using the ChatGPT interface versus just going to Microsoft Bing. Once you get approved and get an account and download the Edge browser using the Bing powered or the chat powered Bing results and the engine, the AI engine that Microsoft Bing is putting out there for people to use. Again, there's lots of different use cases in my case, and probably in your case, if you're watching this video here on 30-Minute Marketing, you are doing what I'm doing and you're using it or you're using AI to create content or to assist you in content creation. At this point, it's a crazy world out there and this is just going to continue to grow. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments here on this video. Look forward to seeing those comments. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and I'll talk to you later. Bye.